Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the doctor, professor, philanthropist, gynecologist, veterinarian, cafeteria lady with the big double D titties, gardener, bacon connoisseur, McDonald's denier, Burger King onion ring lover, and the sexiest black YouTuber, back again to teach the young minds how to not be stupid on social media. I don't know why this lesson has to keep being repeated, but then I realize when I say that, it's because a lot of people seem to think it's okay to punish people only because they disagree with one another. I want you to understand something. You may not like me. You may love me. You may disagree with every single video I post. You may agree with every single video I post. You may agree with some. You may disagree with others. But under no circumstances do I find it necessary to cause violence to any of you because you disagree with something that I post on YouTube or Twitter. Because in my opinion, it's not that serious. If we disagree, oh fucking well. I can't pay you to care. I can't pay you to agree with me. I can explain my point. You can explain your point, and we could either coexist and understand, or we can still disagree and move on with our fucking lives. Under no circumstances would I think it would be wise to cause harm, to try to seek your family, to try to dox you, or in the example I'm about to show you, spit in your fucking drink because you support Trump.
Normalize spitting in the drinks of Trump supporters. Are you at a bar or brewery or restaurant in which you did not expect to see a Trump supporter because their website and decor otherwise declared that they are LGBTQIA plus friendly? Maybe they've got a pride flag. Maybe they've got a BLM flag in their window. But you still, for some reason, see an ungodly Trump supporter, and heaven forbid, they're also wearing Trump merchandise? Well, take an unfinished drink from a table, spit in it, bring it over to them, and tell them that you bought them one. And then pray to whatever glorious creature gets you out of bed in the morning that they'd take a sip of it and suffer for the rest of the day. Thank you. Goodbye.
You cannot like Trump. You cannot like Trump supporters. You can do all this and it's perfectly fine. But to take it a step further and to spit in somebody's drink and watch them drink it and think in yourself, yes, I did the right thing. I did something wise because Trump and all his supporters are nothing but a bunch of racist, misogynistic bigots who don't want to see me succeed because I'm marginalized or I'm a woman or I'm a person of color and I'm all these things because obviously everyone who supports Trump is nothing but a white supremacist. You could say all that, people will laugh at you, people will criticize you, and that's fine. But to spit in somebody's fucking drink is taking it a step further. What about an instance where black people target a white woman because apparently they were all on a bus and she said she supported Trump, and then the black people say that they don't like white people? Does anybody think that's a rational way to go about things? Does anybody sit down and actually think, oh yeah, that's what these Trump supporters deserve because black people have been indigenous and people of color and suffering for all these years, so now they can proudly say that they hate white people? Reverse the situation. What if it was a white person or a group of white people looking at one black person who said, I support Barack Obama, or I support Joe Biden, or I support Kamala Harris, and then the white people say, I hate black people, and then the white people beat the fuck out of the black person? What would we all call that? What would everybody on social media call that? What would all these weirdos like to call it and make sure that you hear about it 24/7? They would call it racist, right? And in some degree, it could be if a couple of racial epithets were thrown out, but when it's reversed, or in the instance I've already shown you, it's not racist. It's probably to some people, oh, we're fighting the cause because these white people all have supremacy. It is fucking stupid. The hoops people jump through, all because people have different views. I've said this numerous times. It is okay for people to think differently. If you have such a problem with that, you really have only two options: challenge them on it or ignore them. Because as much as you want to have these weird realities where you think all these people need to be eradicated or no longer exist, it's important to have these types of discussions. I get it. Free speech is the target and nobody wants to have it anymore, but it's important to talk with individuals you disagree with on a respectful level. If you're just going around saying bitch, racist, conservative, grifter, and all this pointless shit, then you're just somebody nobody's willing to talk to because you don't have the emotional capacity to hold a conversation with anybody. It's important, if you really want to spark that change, if you really want to have people see your perspective, if you really want to challenge people on the things they believe while also promoting what you believe, sit your pointless ass down, actually hold your emotions in check, and talk to people about what it is you hold dear and talk against what they hold dear. And maybe you could come to some form of dialect where you're not spitting in people's fucking drinks.
So just one more thing before I go into work. I'm becoming afraid of my hatred for men. It started as a fun little, you know those TikToks where people are like, don't make jokes about having kinks because your brain doesn't know you're joking, and it actually develops them. I think I joked way too much about hating men, and now I am genuinely, in a sexist way, I hate them. Like, in a way that a white man from Alabama hates black people. I hate men. I walk past them and I want to kill them. And they aren't even doing anything. I just see them and it fills me with rage.
Next person who has the sheer nerve, the sheer entitled caucasity to say all lives matter, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you. And while you're struggling and bleeding out, I'm gonna show you my paper cut and say, my cut matters too.
I know this is what Trump supporters wanted, because standing up for Black Lives Matter put me in a place online to be seen by millions of people. The job that I had worked really hard to get and meant a lot to me just called me and fired me because of everything. I don't know if everyone's seen, but it's been circulating a lot. My Black Lives Matter TikToks were picked up by conservatives and spread and shared, and people were demanding that I be fired, which I just got. My job that I worked really hard for.
I can't be bothered being in these safe spaces with all these people who just want to think the same. I need to be challenged. I need to hold conversations with people who disagree with me, whether if it's people I know, people I don't know, people I'm cordial with, my best friend, anybody. It's important to have these conversations so that you can expand your mind, because guess what? Any of you watching this video, whether if it's one person or 10 people, it don't matter. You are not right about everything. You are wrong about something. And it's important that you check your fucking ego at the door when you meet somebody who's actually right on the subject and actually engage in the conversation. It won't hurt you. It won't kill you. You will not mutate into some weird being with blue hair and a gap teeth and think, oh my God, it's important for me to stand up for something. It's important to hold those conversations. It will never be the detriment of your own well-being, because guess what? Knowledge is power. And if you don't have the knowledge, you will never have the power. If you don't have any form of comprehensive thought that lets you understand somebody else's perspective, you are never going to have a mind that's willing to engage with others. If you want to live in a closeted space or these echo chambers where everybody just says, haha, you're right, you're right, you're right, because we all agree, and you're well inclined to do that, but it is absolutely weird if you expect others to do that. I don't. I hope none of you do. And if you do, fuck you and that closed-minded weird ego you got. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.